Good morning and welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 11th of August. So having a few days away from the market is always a good thing. So I'm looking at these from a fresh set of eyes. I have peeped at the charts because I keep getting asked questions, so I've answered the questions. So let's take a look. Before I look at the charts, look at what risk events we got coming through this morning. Well, we've seen the UK GDP coming out. It's rather above expectation there. In fact, some of the numbers almost, well, more than double expectation or forecast. So okay, these are estimates, but they're out. Or some of the figures are estimates, beg your pardon. Anyway, well above the expectations. Let's have a look at well, the rest of the day then. Okay, that's not going to be doing it. So it's US dollar core PPI, Producers Price Index, later on 130 in the US, and that is and consumer sentiment. Inflation always can give us a kick at the moment. Sentiment, well, that might give us it'll probably be a lesser effect. So let's have a look at the markets themselves. We'll start off looking at a daily picture. That's better, and you can see purposely booked my few days off there. I've got another few days, not next week, the week after, so be prepared for another choppy market like this. God, it's horrible when you look at it on a daily basis. Even when you look at it on a 4-hourly basis, it's not a lot prettier. Pretty much controlled by the S1 and the R1s at the moment this week. So this is a weekly pivot I'm showing you on here. The price has been pretty, just like last week really. It's the daily pivot and the S1 with it. Okay, we've seen both hit this week. Where to today? It's all setting up here. It's got like a head and shoulders sort of pattern. If it was to start rolling or bear flag on the hourlies here, if we was to start seeing it break down here, maybe we got a chance back down to its S1. Now these are a pair of lines I put on before I went away. It's just have a look at what they really was. Don't know how I managed to put those on, but I did, and look, prices pretty much stayed in between them most of the time since I've been away. So there you go. Anyway, I'll take those off later, but for now I'm just looking at sort of the bear flag that's sort of sitting here. Okay, let's just have a look at sorry, someone's asked me a question on there. Okay, so you're looking to sell the pound yen. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a few moments. I'll work my way through. So let's get on and look at the pound dollar. Well, the pound dollar's had a little bounce here on the data there, but it's still, oh sorry, come back onto, well, it's been pretty choppy over the last 4 days, and today, well, it's still in that range at the moment. It's had a bit of a bounce here, but you just look at the 4 hourlies. Hourlies, well, it's come up to the pivot there. If it was to break the lows here, maybe it's on for the S1, but mate, it's just so horrible. I'm going back on holiday. See ya. Dollar yen. Dollar yen continuing its push to the upside. This is a little bit clearer, but it's now running in back into the 145 area. 145 is not the best of areas for it, because this is where we've always got the risk of the Bank of Japan intervening, although haven't read anything at the moment, and if they did actually say something we'd have seen a reaction, but this in the past has been a bit of the choke point in terms of where it might get to, but who knows. Looking at the price action, it's a solid old move up there yesterday, consolidating as we're looking through at the moment, but it has got further scope to the upside. But it's one of those not from here trades. Aussie dollar, looking at it from a daily picture, where again consolidation. I'm going away. Consolidation, again potential sell. They've got these sort of berry flag patterns here as well. I'm not sure. I haven't caught up with the news of what occurred yesterday afternoon, but obviously it was something more positive, only to see it fall back later. Started off well, then died. US dollar CAD, well, this has continued to trickle its way to the upside, very slow, crawling up there. So earlier part of the week that flew up there, pulled back, it's slowed where it is at the moment, and horrible at this stage. This is why you book holidays. This is a classic holiday market. Now perhaps here, breakout of the highs here, it's inverted sort of pairing because it's dollar CAD as opposed to euro pound, or sorry, euro dollar or whatever. So it's got the potential of kicking and pushing through here, and particularly today it hasn't hit the pivot yet. I'm looking at these prior highs here, and we could see it pushing towards those if it breaks the highs here. The dollar, New Zealand dollar, lower highs, lower lows, kicking through here on the New Zealand dollar. On a daily, just continues through there. 4 hourly, well, just showing that same old pattern. I was trading this before I was going away, and it's just done what it should have done and continues on that southbound. It's looking pretty soft. Week after week we've seen it making new lows. It's been simpler in that respect. Yesterday again, probably the sort of move if you're intraday trading to take you out of what would have been a proper potential downside. Also saying that no real entry there yesterday morning, but anyway, it's broken through here again. It's not even managed to flag. It's just rolling down towards its S1, potential for a continuation there. It is looking the softer of the bunch of majors. Dollar Swissy, whoops, don't know why I did that. No idea why I did this. Now I was looking for, before I went, looking for further upside. Well, we're not seeing a lot of anything here. I did get stopped out with a further upside move before I went. It's the way it's looking here. Looks like it's got some scope for further upside. Knocking on that quarterly pivot here. It's S1. It's got scope to push through that at some stage. Again, we got the sort of flaggy sort of pattern here. Got the potential, but the way it's going, I wouldn't hold my breath too much on it. Euro yen, I was saying when I was away, my auto trader was on. It gave me one loss this week so far and one win. So and the win gives more than the loss, so I'm quite happy. Particularly in these markets, it's been moving up pretty smoothly on the 4 hourly side of things, so not moving too bad at all. Just a bit consolidated where it sits at the moment. Again, we could see a continuation to the upside from the break for the consolidated week. A little bit. There's the pound yen then. You wanted to look at this, you want to short this, if I got that right. Why would you short something that's going up is the question I'd have here. Sell the pound yen, what's it doing? So on a daily basis it's largely going up. If I'd sell it down here somewhere, so I wouldn't even look to sell it where it's at the moment. There's no reason to sell it when it's in an upward trend. I really can't see a reason to sell it in the bigger picture there. Even on short term, if it starts failing or whatever else, maybe a rollover. We've just had the good news on the pound this morning. Maybe we'll even get a continuation in the next hour on this. So this puts me off selling it. It's not giving me any signals. It's double topped, but it could well, there's lots of double tops. There was double tops back here, double tops here, double tops here, and what's it done? It's carried on pushing up there. I'd wait for it to start breaking down and give me lower highs. At the moment, can't be looking at this for a short side. It's very long-sided. Okay, going back to the euro pairs, euro CAD. Let's have a look at what's it doing on the euro CAD, consolidating here. Consolidation on the 4 hourlies, really so ugly. If in doubt, stay out. Euro Aussie, I'm just looking at shorter time frames here for a moment. The 4 hourlies here, again consolidation. It's not really moving too much in the range, running into its R1 earlier part of the week, but maybe there's more of a swing to come out of this, but it's got itself into a pretty mucky state. Pound CAD, again, look at the consolidation sitting here on the dailies. The best thing to do is leave it alone. I mean, unfortunately, looking at some of these markets this morning, it's probably pound yen. I've already discussed that. It's might roll over. It depends on what you're trying to do there, but the bigger trend is certainly to the upside, and the risk is any slight movement will see it run higher quicker than selling off. Okay, nothing else to do there for now. I'm not surprised the pairs are like this. This is what happens in the summer. Often goes a bit sort of more consolidated, less clear direction, more chop. Okay, quick look then at gold. So gold slipping down actually, which is I suppose it's not unusual. It's a bit more cyclical. And yeah, it's just sliding off at the moment. It's got the potential to pick up on a cyclical basis, but selling as we look at it at the moment. I'm trying to remember the cycle on the gold in terms of when it does pick up. Often it's September-ish time we start seeing it picking up on the basis of jewelry sales and the demand for Christmas. It comes in early, but at the moment this is only a sell opportunity. Lower highs, lower lows, best avoided on the upper time frames there. Okay, oil. Now we've seen a walk away. We've seen a day of downside. What the hell's going on? But largely it's been pushing upwards. Came off earlier part of the week there, but pushing up, not looking particularly great at the moment. The problem I have here is it's run into these prior highs. I would be, but on the bullish side, I liked being on the bullish side down here, up here. You've got the short sellers coming in. It's also sitting around the top of its range. If you just come out to the weekly picture here, sitting at the top of this current range. There's plenty of production potential that gets a choke point at some stage. Yes, it might carry on into towards its that's the yearly pivot sitting above there, might come back into that towards that $95 area, maybe towards September, October, but for now yeah, not really interested in that. It's just at a risky area where you get short traders coming in. Okay, you didn't understand my explanation of the pound yen. Well, the pound yen is moving upwards and you want to sell it. It's not showing when a market's pushing up. Why do you want to sell it? Surely you should be wanting to buy it so it continues up to the upside. That's my point. I don't understand why you would want to sell it. You don't understand my explanation. I don't understand why you want to sell it when it's pushing upwards. Just like this market here, why would I want to actually sell the oil at the moment? It's pushing up. So how do you get into sell it? Well, you wait until it's showing you a signal that it's rolling over. So for example, if you can get this drawing on here, if this was the market, it doesn't really matter what market it is. If it's pushing up, you wait until it gives you a lower high, and it's giving you a lower high. This is the point where the market's changing structure. Otherwise the market's still pushing up solidly. So, and this is why this is buying selling into what people expect to be tops. There could have been a top here on this market, a top here. Selling it into tops is what loses retail traders 80% or makes them 80% of the time losers. So selling is not a good idea when the market's pushing up. However, I can't stop people doing it, and they'll continue to do it, and that's why, as I say, retail traders, 80% of them lose, 85% retail traders lose, because they trade the opposite side of what is a... Why would you want to sell a market that's going upwards or buy a market that's going downwards? I can see once it's put some patterning in, some shape, but there's no reason to sell these markets like that. Now this is a market, CSI 300 here. This is put a lower high and it's not making anything. This is a market that could be sold, but only when it starts breaking. Not today, obviously. It's closed, but on the basis if it breaks down the 50 MA here, there's a chance. It's a market that's choppy. It's put the lower high in already, so it becomes more of a market to sell. The Nikkei still dancing around its highs here. It hasn't broken, I talked about it before I left, hasn't broken this absolute low here. I say absolute, it's low here. Any signs of doing that, and it becomes a more of a bearish signal. But at the moment, even this market, it's still sitting there. It's got more of a bullish hold than a bearish hold, and this is the sort of thing I'd be looking at if you're looking at the pound yen. If you're selling it, wait for the big time frames to be showing you the hand. So long as it's staying up here, this to me remains on the bullish bias. The Nikkei, the Nifty 50, big pardon, Nifty 50, it's already put some lower highs in here. Again, this would be a market to sell on the lows here. It's the overall trend has arguably broken on this point here, but this could be nothing more than a short-term correction. The bigger trend is to the upside, but a break of this point here does confirm lower highs and makes it look softer. Aussie dollars at Aussie 200 even, not the Aussie dollar at all. The Aussie 200 remains mucky and slow and probably is best avoided. US markets then, well, these are largely been chopping along. You can see the bar by bar by bar. Would I want to be selling it? Again, this is a market, as much as that you can see a lot of red up here at the moment and maybe a little lower high. I would steer clear of it. It's largely going chopping side by side. There we go. It has put lower highs in just about, but look at the frequency. It's a high frequency move to the downside there. At some stage this could easily switch quickly, so don't want to be looking to short this. And this is a problem. Look, the Dow, it's the same. It's a side-by-side market. You'll come down the time frames. You'll see the high frequency of retracements here. Traders ain't too sure which way this market's going, and it's reflected in the price action. So best really avoided. Nasdaq. I'm going back on holiday. I'm taking the day off. Lower highs. Soft market on the Nasdaq there. It is a little bit softer. The DAX, again, look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days side-by-side price action. You got the high again, quite a high frequency. It probably shows better on the hourlies here, but you can see the frequency of the movements going up and down. You could try and range trade this. That would be your best opportunity. But why else would you be looking to try and trade this for any distance? I mean, you might be scalping it. So maybe a scalper's market there. It does give opportunities. It is range bound, so there might be a scalp in between that range. The FTSE, again, largely scalp, chop here. It gets broken out a little bit, but pulled back this morning on the more solid data there. So I will just look at Bitcoin and nothing else, just to see what's gone on there since I've been away. Oh, look at that, it's chopping. Again, tried a little bit the other day, but chopping. So on that note, I wish you a great day's trading, and I'm out of here. I'll see you, well, I'm not out of here with my regular traders in my trading room, but for the YouTubers, I wish you a great weekend. Opuku, I hope you've understood my theory of not selling the pound yen now. Anyway, on that note, I wish you a great weekend, and I'll speak to you on Monday. Bye for now.